was just talking to another friend of mine last night who was married for 25 years and his wife died. And he was telling me that like they had these problems while they were in their relationship and they split up for a year because of some stuff that had gone down between them. And then they finally worked it out and they reconciled and they got together, and then that's when he found out that she was sick. And when got she like a few months later they found out she was sick and she survived for a few years and then she died. And it's just like this guy that you talk to and this is a street dude, man. I don't think he even graduated from high school. He's a street dude, man. He was telling me a story about how she went to a church because, to get away from him. So he went down to the church strapped, and they had to like lock the doors and call the police because he was down there to kill somebody. Because he was trying, because he wanted to get her back. This guy's, but he's reformed. He's a different person today than he was back then. And to hear this person talk about that and just say like, that was a whole year or so that they were apart. He said it was a year or two. So it was a whole year or two that they were apart that was completely wasted, that they could never get back. He had to shape his thinking so that it would change his behavior. And he was telling me that the way he turned his life around, he was just like almost hostile about it. He's like, I didn't need no God, I didn't need no this, I didn't know families, I had to grab myself and pick myself up and do this. It was his thinking that helped us shape his feelings. A problem can become when we use our feelings to shape our thinking. Not that you shouldn't feel, of course you should feel. Things like sympathy and love and empathy, caring about other people, a desire for justice, all of that comes from here. That does not come from here. Self-serving, selfishness, that comes from here. It makes sense, evolutionarily, to care only about yourself above everybody else. But all of those things that we value as human beings, and the things that we value in human beings, comes from here. And so, when we say like, we have to cut out all of our feelings, bullshit. No, you shouldn't. That severs you in half. That cuts you in half. You're only now half of a person. You're not a full human being. Are you a thinker or are you a feeler? Yes, you should be both. Because both of those things are part of what it is to be a human. Like I said, desires for justice and love and empathy and sympathy, wanting to make the world a better place, all of that is here. Now, how do we do it? That comes from here. Here's what it is to be a good person. How do I now shape myself to become a good person? Despite the feelings and the pulls of these things. Forgiveness. I don't know, man. Is there a desire to forgive people? That oftentimes comes from here. And by the way, a really hard thing is to be able to accept forgiveness. That can get in the way of it as well. Have you ever done something bad and someone forgives you? You have a hell of a time accepting their forgiveness because you just don't know if you can trust them because what you did was so bad it doesn't deserve to be forgiven. And then you go through life and you're just like waiting for the other foot to drop and you just can't accept somebody else's forgiveness. But you can forgive somebody else and you absolutely know that they can trust the fact that you're forgiving them. But then maybe they can't feel that. And that's what severs relationships. It isn't even so much betrayal or dishonesty that destroys relationships. It's not being able to accept forgiveness, just as much as not being able to give it. It's a hard thing, man. It's a hard thing. And so it's not just the things that disturb us, but the views that we take of it. What I've done is so bad I can't be forgiven. But they love you, and they're going to figure out a way to forgive you. I don't know, man. I don't feel like I deserve it. Do you deserve it? Probably not. But you probably don't deserve food and water either. There's a lot of things that we don't deserve in life, man, but isn't it great when you get them? And maybe when you get them, maybe you can internalize it, appreciate it, and be the person that they want, that they see in you. The person that you know you could be, man. Just balance these things out.